Welcome back, everyone, to another podcast with us here at Lending Language Lab on healthy studying habits. So this is going to be part 2 of the first episode. We hope you guys checked out the first one here earlier this month. Now we are on to part 2. Now, this topic is a really fun topic because school, probably for most people, well, typically in Western countries, has started already here in September. Yeah. Now, we know in some places in the world, school starts in spring. So, obviously,
we may be late for you guys, but
we love you guys. We're sorry.
We're sorry.
But, going into fall, I mean, this is for those people that start in spring, like they're on their last semester right now. So maybe this is kind of be some interesting tips as you get to your end of the year finals and you prepare for the next school year. So let's get into today's topic. So last time we kind of talked about some of the wonky, the unique, and the interesting healthy studying habits. This time we're going to talk a little bit more seriously about healthy studying habits that are good and I think useful, and I think in our book, because as former students who went through the struggle of studying and then became teachers, we're kind of like, now, are we experts on studying? No.
But I wouldn't say we're experts, but we definitely are well versed on both sides of the coin. Because even when we became when we became teachers, we were still learning a language as well.
Exactly. So I think we can give some tidbits and little things. Like, I know I have my unique studying habits, especially now that I'm back at school and I'm learning new content. I really need that push to kind of like stay focused and learn this new material. So for me, I like to do some things a little bit fun. For instance, when I'm reading a textbook, now I don't know about people who are out there in other subjects, but being in business, my God, it can be really boring reading about finance and human resources, reward management system. As a teacher, we've already learned this, so I was just this is repeat. For me, it was really hard to focus. So the way I got myself to do it is I would leave pieces of candy in the book pages. And so when I got to that book page, there's my reward.
That is a great tip, actually, because, you get a little bit of sweet treat. And then, you also learn what you need to learn.
I was like, I did this. Other things I do is I do like a 30 minutes on, 30 minutes off kind of procedure, because something that we have learned as teachers is that students do not have an attention span longer than 30-minute intervals. It could be less than that or more than that, depending. But for me, I've found the sweet spot to be about 30 minutes.
I agree.
When I was teaching our classes, when we did it with our younger kids, it was like about an hour for each class, right?
Yeah.
So I always gave them a break time at 30 minutes. Exactly.
Like 45 minutes.
Yeah. As depending on how they did, like, my goodness, if we were solidly focused for 30 minutes, and they got the reward and they had some time off, because the brain needs a break. Just like when you're working out a muscle, you have to give that a break, because otherwise you're just gonna exhaust it and overwork it. So
and that way you get some like longevity for what you're learning.
And it also helps, I think, cement that information you learn. Like, okay, take a break. Sometimes I like to shorthand notes while I'm reading, and then I just go back through those notes, and then I go, okay, that's what I've learned. I know brought up an interesting study habit. What's one of yours?
Well, for me, I haven't been a studier in a couple years. But when I was studying, I like to use acronyms. So for those of you who don't know what acronyms are, it's basically where you take the main points that you're learning and put them into a word. So for example, if I was trying to learn the days of the week in a different language, I would use MTWTF for Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. And that's how I will remember things. Like if they were grouped together, I would remember them that way.
Yeah. Which I think is kind of genius. That way it kind of forces you to remember the words, but then also at the same time, it makes it easier to say, oh, okay, this letter belongs to this whole word. So it helps kind of connect. And that's kind of something I think is very important when it comes to studying, is looking for those patterns. Now, let's move on to some other interesting studying tips that I have found on the internet that I thought was kind of unique, but also a new perspective. Because the thing with studying is, do you want it to be same old? Because we have learned studying one way is not the only way, especially for someone like me. I have trouble sitting down and studying like that. I cannot, like, my brain will start to drift off. So I need to like break it up and find some other ways. So we're gonna go ahead and present to you guys a list of interesting tips that we think are fun and useful, but I also are good ways for people who are like us, who cannot stay focused on something for more than like maybe 10 or 20 minutes.
It's definitely good for the Yippa Yappa crew.
Starting off with number 1, study with a scent. Some people use a specific scent like peppermint or lavender while studying. Then they use the same scent during an exam to help recall the information. I thought that was genius.
That's pretty cool. That is actually very cool.
Honestly, I really want to try this because I love lighting candles. It's to set a mood. So maybe, well, obviously I cannot.
Well, I don't think you would be able to do candles in the exam.
So maybe, I don't know. Like you wear perfume, so maybe I'll like have a very specific perfume for like studying days. I used to wear a specific shirt to help me. I don't know why I was convinced this shirt is like my lucky t-shirt, and I wore it every time I had an exam because I passed every time I did an exam with this shirt. Don't know why.
Okay, moving on to the next one. So write in different colors. Using various colors for notes and highlights can help categorize information and make it visually engaging and memorable. So I actually used to do this in university as well when I was highlighting notes. So certain concepts would be a certain color, and then I would my mind would be brought back to that when I see it on the paper.
Yes, you should see my highlighter collection. I have a whole bag just for highlighters. I mean, I'm kind of upset because this is what happened to my highlighters when I came back home. Do you see my bag?
Oh gosh, it's seen some things.
I guess my orange highlighter, I think it was, just the cap must have came off and it just leaked, and I was so upset. But I'm back in the States, so I'm gonna get some more. I'm gonna buy pastel colors. I love pastel highlighter colors. It makes me happy. And you know what? If something makes you happy when you study, take it. Take it as you can. All right. This one is interesting because I know I've done this with my classmates, especially this year. It just might be my nature because I'm a former teacher. I don't know about you, but teach someone else. Explaining the material to someone else, even if it's a pet or a stuffed animal, can help reinforce your understanding. I think we talked about this in our weird ones with the plants, stuff like that.
Yeah, so head on over if you haven't seen it. Watch our weird ones. It's definitely very interesting.
But I think this one is good if you're in like a cohort. Now, if you don't know what a cohort means, that's basically means your classmates who are in the core material classes with you. Like if you're in a certain subject, normally you see those people quite often in your classes. So that's what we call a cohort. So sometimes working with people in your cohort and make a study group and then teach the material to each other helps cement that in your head. Oh, this next one is perfect for you, Arnell.
Yes. So if you guys don't know, I do actually have a standing desk, but I don't use it often as I should. But using a standing desk while studying will increase alertness and reduce fatigue, making study sessions more productive. So I got to put it in my mind to also use my standing desk. Because when I do use it, it's actually really great.
Yeah, right?
You can kind of move your body, but also you're more focused.
She's also got this like little treadmill thing she walks on when she's at her desk.
I do.
I'll say I think it's genius because like we talked about in our first episode about like moving while you're studying. I think this is like a great example of that. When you are moving while you are studying, I think it helps cement that information better in your mind.
Yeah.
It's just something about physical activity while you're studying. It just, for me,
it just
it's
helps you remember so much better.
Right? Next one is going to be, I think this is kind of related to what I said, but I think theirs is a little bit more extra. Study in short bursts. I don't want to mess up this word. The Pomodoro. Oh, Pomodoro. Yeah.
Yeah, we got it.
It involves studying for 25 minutes and taking a 5-minute break. These short bursts can improve focus and retention. I do the 30 minutes on, 30 minutes off because I found the 5 minutes not being enough for my brain to kind of like take a break. Yeah. But maybe for you guys, it would work better for you. I'm not sure.
For me, I even do this for working as well. 90 minutes on working, 90 minutes off.
Yep.
So this can be put towards different things, not only just studying habits. So moving swiftly on to the next one, which is chew gum. So chewing a specific flavor of gum while studying and then chewing the same flavor during an exam may help with recall, which kind of goes into the sense one. But I think this is a little bit easier to use than that one.
Then they're like, how can I sneak a candle into my exam?
Yeah.
But I agree. Sometimes when I'm studying, like, it's like some people like to eat snacks and stuff. I like to snack in my exam. I look a bit weird when I do that, but I don't know. Something about having that distraction from doing something else helps you focus more. I don't know why, but for me, that works.
For me, it wasn't really gum. I would use like, those cough drops.
Oh, yeah.
Like mint flavors.
Yeah.
Would really help me kind of calm my anxiety down, not only just to remember things, but also to calm myself down enough to be able to remember what I've actually studied.
Agreed.
Yeah.
I do that too. Like, just I need to, because especially in an exam, you're so intense, right?
Yeah.
So doing other things kind of helps lessen the load on your mind.
Maybe one day we can do an episode on how to manage test anxiety, because I know a lot of people have gone through it. I've went through it. You went through it. So maybe we can do that for another episode.
Yeah, that's a good idea. Next time. Next one is record your notes. So this is kind of falling into what we talked about in our last episode too. There's a lot of similarities here, but record your notes. So when you listen to your recordings or your notes while doing other activities like walking or exercise, you can reinforce learning through auditory repetition. Now in part one, that was more about like sleeping through it, but we talked about like, we don't think that really works, but doing activities associated while you're listening to the notes helps, and that I have to agree with. And so if you guys haven't seen part one, we brought up a lot of good points, so go check that out.
Okay, so changing study locations. So regularly changing your study environment can create new memory cues, which can help you recall. So we also talked about this with
lying on the floor.
So definitely check out the last one. We definitely dropped some tidbits in there. We sprinkled some stuff in there for you guys. But yeah, this is definitely a good one too.
Yeah, like I think we did this before, like going to a cafe for some reason. Every time I go to a cafe to study, I study. I don't know what it is about it. If I'm at home, I have the worst time focusing. And so sometimes I need to like change up where I am to kind of just get my head in the game.
And also, like, if you're going by yourself, it's a lot easier. Like, if you're going with friends, this may not work for you.
I hate studying with my
I am
husband.
Definitely a yappa, okay? I will go into a study session with friends and just just talk, and then no studying will happen. Yeah, exactly. That's why we don't know Korean till this day.
No, I hate studying with my husband. Love him to bits, but I am horrible. Like, I had to tell people at work, if I'm in the middle of like a crunch time and I'm just like trying to focus and work my way through stuff, please do not talk to me. Please do not talk to me, because I will talk to you and I will get distracted. So don't do that.
We are some easily distracted people. So you got to do this with caution.
One day, like, we should just record our pre-recording talks, because we will just go off on tangents.
Oh yeah, y'all don't even know. Before we sat down to actually press record, we've already been sitting here for an hour. Yeah. All
right, so moving on to the next one is seeing your notes. Turning information to a song or rhyme can make it easier to remember. I've heard of this.
I used to do this too.
Yeah?
Yeah. Do like the twinkle, twinkle, twinkle little star, but with my notes. And it definitely worked for me.
I just angrily scream it out loud.
Or like, but you know how you also listen to music while you're studying? You can make a tune with what you're studying and link it to what you're listening to.
We could turn it into a rap.
Yeah. Even though we can't rap.
We try. Hey, remember when I busted that Cardi B verse and you were like, oh,
okay, let's go to karaoke.
I can only do Cardi B. Only person.
I mean, me is Megan Thee Stallion.
Oh, I love Megan Thee Stallion.
Okay, we love Megan.
Okay, but like here we are getting distracted.
Here we go. Don't study with us, y'all.
Don't study with us.
Okay.
As we're an English learning podcast.
Right? No, please study with us. Please study with us.
We're funny. We're funny. That's what matters. Yeah. See, we make studying fun.
Okay. So the next one is use a typewriter.
Yeah.
Use a typewriter.
Who uses typewriters
these days? Okay, so typing notes on a typewriter instead of a computer can reduce distractions and increase focus.
I think it just makes it fun. The click clack.
I feel like I would get distracted because I would be having too much fun with the click-a-clack.
Well, yeah, you're having fun while you're click-a-clacking.
Yes.
I think that's the point. Unique. Now,
if you can find a typewriter, I mean, you can use your computer.
Yeah.
So using a typewriter makes it sound super old.
They have newer typewriters. Mind map with doodles. I do this a lot when I study. So when you create mind maps that include drawings with doodles that can help with visualizing and connecting concepts. I'm a big drawer. I like to, when I get information, I like to input it into something. Either it's learning a language. I like to make like a little comic strip on the side to kind of like practice how this phrase would sound like in a realistic setting.
Yeah.
But I also do it with like a lot of things. Like if I'm just trying to remember something, I will like make a drawing to kind of be like, this is what it is.
I also do that too. Like, like word maps where you have like a word, like a main word that you want to talk about, and then you branch out, and then you put all the points.
Like kind of like the
really
main
good
topic.
To do it. Yeah, it's good to do that in like if you're writing an essay. We can get into that in another episode on
we can talk about like writing tips and all this other stuff
and how to plan your essay as well.
Yes,
you can, that folds into that too.
Yes. So next one is
study before bed.
Yes.
So reviewing material, I did this a lot too. So reviewing material before going to sleep can improve retention as your brain processes the information as you sleep. So what I would do when I was studying for things, I would study at night. And then when I got up, I would study again for a brief time before the actual exam or whatever I was doing to kind of reinforce what I learned the night before, and would have that kind of gap, kind of of a refresher. And like even down to like maybe 20 minutes before going into the exam, I'd kind of briefly look at things and then go in.
Yeah, I think that's a good tip, because honestly, they always say don't study 15 minutes before your exam.
Yeah, I would never do that. Like I would go to the exam and just be hanging out, relaxing, trying to, de-stress and kind of trust yourself that, I've studied enough. I've learned all the information.
I always study up until the night before the exam, and then after that, the next day, I don't even worry about it. I just go into the exam and just do it. And so far, I have passed all my exams pretty well. So I think my theory is working. All right. Yes. This last one I think really applies to me because I don't know if you guys notice, I have a very swingy chair, and I get really I just swing a lot. And this is because using a rocking chair, so studying while gently rocking back and forth can help some people focus better. I have to do that because I'm a person who can't sit still, and I have
undiagnosed ADHD.
That undiagnosed ADHD is coming out full force. But for me, I love having a spinny chair while I'm studying. Don't know why. Always the only one thing I can focus. Like as long as I can move my legs, I will focus on whatever is in front of me. Which was awful because I did not have that last year when I was studying for my exams, and I freaking hate stationary chairs that just stay still, and I'm like, I just want to rock.
I feel the same way because, as you know, we cannot sit still. We just love to fidget, and I feel like it makes me remember things better when I'm moving.
I have this I got this squishy octopus from a coworker at work, and so when I'm like focusing on work, I will sit there and aggressively squish it so much that some people like I'm just like, yeah, because it distracts me. It's like the squishy sounds it makes, like the like I don't know why it helps me focus. And then my chair's spinning, so I'm sitting there like this, like but like it helps me focus. I don't know why. I'm like, boom.
Yes. So with that being said, we hope you guys enjoyed our second part of the episode on healthy studying habits. We'd love to see your comments down below and tell us all the unique studying habits that you guys know of. And if you're going to use these studying habits that we've given you, we hope you join us for the next episode. Follow us on all our social media at Learning and Language Lab everywhere. And I have been Parnell.
And I have been Ro. Don't forget to hit that subscribe, by the way. Do not forget to hit that subscribe.
And hit that notification button. Okay?
And like this video if you enjoyed it, guys. Thank you so much.
Please like it because, you know, the algorithm.
The algorithm.
The algorithm.
All right, guys. See you next time.